My roommate Lily was joking around when she suddenly took a ring and slipped it onto my finger. Then she laughed, bowing to me. Congratulations, sister-in-law. Her brother had just died last week. Was she trying to set me up for a ghost marriage? Lily giggled anyway. No one in school pays attention to you. My brother choosing you is a blessing. But I'm an Underworld Emissary here. Do I really need her to introduce me to men? Lily's brother, Lee, had passed away. After the funeral back in her hometown, she'd often sob in our dorm room. Sometimes in the middle of the night, she would suddenly sit up, burn spirit money, and mumble something incomprehensible, looking utterly distraught. She was naturally reserved and had few friends, but this recent behavior made everyone in the room complain. Feeling sorry for her, I went over to comfort her. For the next few days, whether it was class, meals, or tutoring sessions, I was by her side. That weekend, I even invited her to watch a movie and have bubble tea. Lily was incredibly moved. "Quinn, you're so kind," she cried, hugging me tightly. "If only we were family." I gently patted her shoulder and replied, "We've lived in the same dorm for 3 years. We're already like family." Her face immediately lit up, and she extended her pinky finger. "Then let's pinky swear. Will you be my family for life?" Gradually, Lily returned to normal, a smile gracing her lips more often. Sometimes she'd even pull out photos and videos of her brother to show me, asking if he was handsome. Honestly, her brother looked quite ordinary. A recessed forehead, small face, flat nose, a classic short-lived appearance. But I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I just nodded vaguely and said, "Yeah, he's not that." Lily buried her head in her phone, seemingly smiling. "Exactly. I told him you're beautiful." For the entire semester, Lily stuck by me. When her family sent up local specialties like red dates or cashews from her hometown, she always shared some with me, making me think her personality wasn't too bad after all. That day, it was just the two of us in the dorm. Lily then pulled out a red cotton jacket to show me, saying her mother had personally sewn it and asked me to try it on. The style of the jacket reminded me of something Lu Xun might wear, exactly like those in Republic-era TV dramas. I wasn't particularly fond of it, but it was her kind gesture, so I figured trying it on wouldn't hurt. To my surprise, it fit perfectly, as if it had been custom-made for my exact measurements. Lily's gaze on me changed, and she showered me with compliments about how beautiful I looked. Then she said she wanted to give me a mysterious gift, telling me to close my eyes and hold out my hand. I did as she said, and as soon as I extended my hand, I felt something cold slide onto my ring finger. Opening my eyes, I found she had put a ring on my finger. "No, Jesus." The ring was icy cold, its material indistinguishable, black and shiny, with a faint red thread visible inside. While I was still stunned, Lily repeatedly bowed to me. "Congratulations, my dear sister-in-law." Seeing her sinister smile, I felt a surge of unease. I desperately tried to pull the ring off, but it seemed to be stuck fast to my finger. No matter what I did, it wouldn't come off. Anxiously, I said, "What is this ring?" "Take it off immediately." Lily giggled and hugged me, replying, "If it can't come off, it means it's fate. It proves my brother has chosen you." My blood ran cold. But your brother is dead. Lily seemed deeply insulted. She glared at me and shrieked, "My brother isn't dead. My family has had only one male heir for 3 generations. My brother hasn't even married or had children yet. How could he possibly be dead?" She screamed in my face, her features twisted into such a fierce expression that it felt like 2 entirely different people. After her outburst, she crumpled to the floor, clinging to my legs and sobbing. On the day of my brother's funeral, the pole carried by the descendants broke. If that pole breaks, it means my brother will have no heir. Then my entire family will become wandering lone ghosts. A ghost marriage is the only way. Didn't you always think my brother was handsome? I'm just trying to make this happen for you. Seeing Lily's face streaked with tears and snot, I was utterly stunned. How could she cry and say such shameless things with such a thick skin? Seeing my lack of reaction, she mistook it for hesitation and quickly tried to reassure me. Don't be scared just because you hear ghost marriage. You don't have to die. We'll just go back during the break, perform the ceremony, and it'll be done. After that, you can do whatever you want back at school. You just need to be buried in the same tomb as my brother after you die. I know you're a good person. You'll agree to help me with this small matter, won't you? I looked at her coldly. Does being a good person mean I deserve to be in a ghost marriage? Lily widened her eyes and retorted, I'm doing this for your own good. Think about it. In 3 years of college, has anyone ever paid attention to you? My brother choosing you is your good fortune. You won't have to do anything afterward. Our whole family will support you. You'll just be a full-time housewife. Where else would you find such a good deal? Don't be so ungrateful. I stared at Lily's simultaneously pathetic and malicious face, feeling as disgusted as if I'd swallowed a fly. I wouldn't even consider a marriage in the living world, and you're here trying to force a ghost marriage on me. I considered you a friend, and this is how you treat me. Lily froze, the pathetic look on her face instantly vanishing. Standing up, she looked at me with contempt. You usually pretend to be so kind to me. You eat and wear things from my family, and now it's time for you to be useful. Ha! Trying to escape. I yanked hard at the ring, but it wouldn't budge. So I ripped off the cotton jacket and threw it straight into her face, declaring, "Here's your jacket back. Even if I have to smash this ring, I'll smash it until it comes off. As for anything else, make a list. I won't owe you a single penny." Seeing me about to leave, Lily immediately ran to block the doorway. "You're wearing the ring and the wedding clothes, so you're part of my family now. If you don't come back for the ceremony, don't blame my brother for haunting you every day. Afterward, you won't graduate, you won't get married, you won't find a job. Nothing will work out for you. You ungrateful wretch. You'll never have a moment's peace for the rest of your life." Suddenly, I felt an intense loathing for Lily's face. I pointed directly at her and snapped, "I don't want to talk to you. If you're so brave, tell your brother to come here immediately. I'd like to see how he plans to make my life miserable." At the time, I just thought Lily was temporarily possessed by some evil influence and didn't give the matter much thought. Little did I know that the very next day, I'd be plagued by endless misfortune. First, Teachers called on me in every class. Then, my thermos broke while I was getting hot water. Finally, while talking to the hottest guy in class, I sneezed out a long stream of snot. Indeed, live long enough and you'll meet ghosts, I thought to myself. That night, when I went to my part-time job, my colleagues burst into uncontrollable laughter as I recounted the events. My part-time job was running errands for the impermanent, which also means I'm an underworld emissary. Because my birth chart has extreme yin energy, I was discovered by the local underworld organization just days after starting university and became an intern, primarily responsible for escorting wandering souls to the city, God Temple, and the underworld for registration. Today, when all this bad luck hit, there were no wandering souls passing through. So I suspected the ring was the cause. I had sought out several unlocking masters, but no one could remove this cursed thing. The ring was tightening more and more, as if trying to fuse with my finger. So I immediately went to my superior, Officer Shui. He instantly recognized it as a ghost marriage ring. After a man dies, besides losing control of their bladder and bowels, they also release the last semen in their body. A ghost marriage ring is made by mixing that semen with corpse oil. If you wear it and refuse to perform the wedding ceremony with the deceased, the ring's bad luck will cling to you. The level of bad luck you're experiencing right now isn't even that bad yet, Officer Shui noted. I waved my hands in disgust. No wonder I felt so agitated and restless today, like a dark cloud was constantly hanging over my head. Turns out I was cursed. I urgently asked how I could take it off. Officer Shui replied, simple. Contact the local underworld emissaries to file a complaint. Have them apprehend your fiancé, and the marriage will be annulled, and the ring will lose its power automatically. I immediately corrected him. Fiancé, my foot. I'm being scammed. Inwardly, I cursed Lily, calling her utterly despicable. I regretted ever being soft-hearted with her. Now, I wished I could grind her brother's bones into dust. After making a decision, I asked, what if I personally apprehend that damned guy and bring him in for judgment? Officer Shui pondered for a moment before replying. Your classmate was able to put a ghost marriage ring on you, which suggests there's a powerful practitioner in her family. You haven't even finished your internship yet. Are you sure you can handle this? Perhaps it would be better if I contacted the Underworld Emissaries there directly. I quickly interrupted. No need. If word gets out, how will I maintain my standing in this profession? I might even become the butt of jokes at the Underworld's New Year's Eve party. Officer Shui chuckled, then took out 3 talismans and handed them to me. These are communication talismans. If you need to contact us, just put one in your mouth. He then reminded me, safety first. If you really run into trouble, don't try to be a hero. You can summon the local underworld emissaries for assistance. I nodded in agreement, then thought for a moment and added, if I go to the suburbs now to capture a soul, will that count towards my department's KP? The organization won't punish me for it, will they? Officer Shui let out a cold laugh. If you don't hit this KPI, I think I'll be the one punishing you. Upon my return, I immediately asked Lily to meet me and apologize. Before I didn't know what was good for me. What's the point of marrying a living man these days anyway? I'd still have to handle everything myself. Might as well just lie down, get this ghost marriage over with, and be done with it. Lily grinned, praising my flexible thinking and showering me with compliments. As soon as exams were over, Lily and I packed our bags and headed straight to the train station. We traveled from train to long-distance bus. Then, from bus to a smaller car. After a long journey, we finally arrived at a small village deep in the mountains. Her father, Mr. Lee, had been waiting at the village entrance since early morning. Seeing Lily bring me back, he immediately scrutinized me with a lecherous gaze. From head to toe, then toe to head, he examined me for a full 5 minutes. Then he smiled thinly. Good. This one will do. Lily nudged my shoulder. Don't just stand there. Call him Dad. I suppressed my disgust, forcing a smile. Ah, Mr. Ryan. Lee. Mr. Lee beamed, glowing like a flower, and immediately pulled out a stack of brand new bills. Here's your name-changing fee, my child. In China, this fee is like a red envelope given when a bride comes to her husband's home and changes her address appellation. I took the money and followed them into the village. Mr. Lenda. Lee then leaned closer, suddenly reached out and patted my butt. Then smiled again. Oh, these plump hips. Good for bearing and raising children. Our family is sure to have many sons and grandsons. I reined in the burning anger within me, maintaining my stiff smile. All right, I thought. Emi's next mission is to ensure his entire family has no descendants. Rest assured, leave it to me. Lily's house was packed with people, men and women, old and young, smoking, drinking, cracking melon seeds, and filling the air with thick smoke. When I walked in, everyone collectively turned to stare at me, as if inspecting merchandise. After Lily introduced everyone in the family, her Aunt 7, Aunt 8, Uncle 2, and Uncle 3's wife began barraging me with questions. What do your parents do? Do they work in a factory? How many siblings do you have? What's your house like? Do you have a car? I thought to myself, it's just a ghost marriage. Why are they asking such detailed questions? Do they expect my family to even throw in a car as part of the dowry? These nosy old women then started asking if I'd ever been in a relationship, claiming many university students nowadays weren't proper or chaste. Lily quickly interjected. No, our sister-in-law is very proper. She hasn't dated anyone in 3 years of university. She's still a decent girl. She then recounted how, in my sophomore year, I had tried to confess to a basketball team senior, only to be verbally attacked by his girlfriend the very next day. A story whole school knew. I even cried secretly when I returned to my room. The entire family burst into laughter. I shot Lily a glare, thinking, does she tell these embarrassing stories to everyone she meets? Or this time, I decided not to play along with her. I chuckled, then lit a cigarette. Oh, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. I guess I was just craving his body back then. After sleeping with him twice, I realized he wasn't all that impressive anyway. Far worse than those street dancers. Suddenly, the house fell silent. Those nosy old women started whispering amongst themselves. Lily's face flushed crimson with anger, and she quickly turned to give me a warning glance. I just smiled and replied, just kidding. No matter how wild I was before, once I'm in the village, I won't misbehave anymore. A few uncles were visibly excited, all secretly glancing at me. Mr. Lee quickly said, "All right, it's getting late. My daughter-in-law should rest now." After everyone dispersed, I said I wanted to meet my husband. Mr. Lee said no. Then Lily's mother, Mrs. Lee, came and said there was something that needed to be done tonight. I found her expression a bit strange and asked what it was. Lily's eyes flashed. "Anyway, you're already part of our family. Wealth doesn't flow to outsiders. Tonight, Uncle's third brother will come to leave his seed with you." I was instantly shocked. "What do you mean?" Lily gave a wicked grin and gently pushed me. "Don't pretend to be innocent." "What do you mean you don't understand?" "I've already planned everything for you. During your final year, internship, just come to my house to carry the pregnancy. As long as you give birth to a son, our family will have an heir, won't it? We'll even give you 20,000 yuan then." I was stunned and asked, "Didn't you just say it was about the ceremony? Why is there a new requirement now? You want me to bear children for just 20,000 yuan? Lily looked at me with a cold smile. "What kind of attitude is that, Quinn? You're my family's daughter-in-law now. Just do what you're told. Why so much talk?" Lily had already prepared hot water for my bath. As she scrubbed my back, she chillingly whispered in my ear, "Don't think you're so smart. No woman has ever escaped this village alive. Just be obedient, and our family won't make things difficult for you. We're still family." I didn't want to tip my hand or argue with her, so I pretended to agree. After bathing, Lily took my ID card and phone, dressed me in new clothes, and led me to a room in the east wing. Seeing my silence, Lily thought I was nervous and quietly said, "All right, stop pretending to be innocent. There have been times after lights out when you secretly read novels in bed. Don't think I don't know. Third brother is as strong as an ox. You're getting a good deal tonight." Then she smirked and closed the door, leaving the room. Hearing no more sounds outside, I quickly oriented myself, formed hand seals, and faced the direction of the ghost gate, located northeast of the room. "Ghost Underworld Path, Yang World's strange gate. Heed my command, ghost souls, come quickly." This was the ghost summoning method officer had taught me during my training, and it was my first time trying it. After reciting the incantation, I paused for a moment. Black smoke billowed from the corner of the wall, and a ghost woman with long hair and red clothes emerged. "Underworld Emissary, what is your command?" It was my first time dealing with a ghost for a task, so I was still a little nervous, and cautiously asked, "I need your help with a small matter. Do you understand things between men and women?" The ghost woman immediately became agitated. "I was killed by the men in this village years ago," I affirmed. "Good. Good. Today, I'm giving you a chance for revenge. Someone will be here shortly." The ghost woman suddenly grew excited. "Emissary, don't worry, I'll kill him." I quickly stopped her. "No, no, no. Committing murder will harm our merits. Just don't take his life. You can torture and torment him as much as you like." The door opened, and a dark-skinned, burly man, reeking of alcohol, entered, hungrily scanning the room. The ghost woman I summoned is named Xiao Ping. She had been wandering the village for years, her ghostly energy somewhat weakened. After being summoned by my ghost-expelling incantation, her ghostly energy immediately strengthened considerably. She transformed into my likeness and lay on the bed. The lecherous third brother eyed Xiao Ping on the bed, then lunged at her, biting wildly. Ghosts have no physical form. They rely on illusions to mesmerize living beings. So, although third brother was excited, from my perspective, he was merely wrestling with a pillow on the bed. All the sensations of pleasure he felt were Xiao Ping's illusions, purely imagined by him. Third brother sank deep into his lustful fantasy, unable to escape. Stripped naked, he vigorously pulled off the bedsheets and duvet, then grabbed the headboard, shaking it rhythmically. Sister-in-law, how was that? Am I strong? Xiao Ping twisted her waist, displaying a seductive expression as her response. Simultaneously, she used her ghostly energy to infiltrate his body, beginning to absorb the yang energy from third brother. A creaking sound filled the room. The bed frame seemed on the verge of collapsing from third brother's movements. 10 seconds later, his essence rapidly dissipated. Xiao Ping took a deep inhale from third brother, who instantly felt incredibly euphoric, but his yang energy visibly weakened. A pair of dark circles appeared under his eyes, and his vital yang essence and blood energy were halved. Third brother wiped the cold sweat from his forehead, feeling that his condition wasn't right today. He pulled out 2 small pills, swallowed them, and said, "I didn't control the rhythm well just now. This time we're really starting." Then he pulled out a pair of black stockings, saying he wanted to add some spice. Third brother was big and crude, yet he dared to lust after a swan. A terrible person with too many tricks. Just then, a knock sounded. Third brother went to open the door and saw a skinny, pale man walk in. He eyed the torn bedsheets on the floor, then subtly glanced at Xiao Ping, who was hiding under the covers. A wicked grin spread across his face, and he raised a finger. "Brother 3, you're truly mighty. You've ruined the blanket." Third brother looked at him with disgust. Fourth brother, what are you doing here? Fourth brother lit a cigarette for his brother. Brother 3, why don't you rest a bit? I'll take over for you for a while. Sister Lily said, "One more person means more chances to leave a seed." Xiao Ping stared at fourth brother, her hair standing on end, her face contorted in fury. Sensing something was wrong, I quickly comforted her. "Xiao Ping said bitterly to me, he's the one who killed me that year." Xiao Ping had been a high school student. That year, human traffickers kidnapped her and sold her to fourth brother. By day, she worked like an ox, and by night, he tormented her. She tried to escape many times, but was immediately caught. Since the entire village watched over these purchased women, escaping was impossible. Within 2 years, Xiao Ping died. After her death, she sought revenge. Fourth brother discovered this and quickly asked the local yin-yang master to get him an amulet to wear. From then on, Xiao Ping couldn't get near fourth brother, so she intended to report him to the underworld once she arrived there. But, to her shock, the yin-yang master had set up a barrier around the village. She couldn't leave the place at all, and could only become a wandering ghost within the village, waiting for her ghostly energy to dissipate completely and turn to smoke. I observed fourth brother closely and saw an amulet tucked into a small bamboo tube hanging around his neck, faintly emitting a red glow. That must be a common folk exorcism talisman. I drew a ghost-binding talisman in the air and blew it towards fourth brother's amulet. This was an official underworld spell, far more potent and effective than a few folk charms. Fourth brother's exorcism talisman immediately became ineffective. Third brother initially wanted to show off his strength, but he was truly exhausted. So he temporarily let fourth brother take his place. He rested to regain his energy. Fourth brother quickly stripped off his clothes and jumped onto the bed. I says, Xiaoping pretended to go along with it, even waving at third brother nearby. Third brother, as if possessed by a demon, felt a surge of heat throughout his body, as if he was fine again, and charged forward wildly. Fourth brother was still a bit displeased. He pouted and grumbled to third brother 3. This is a bit unsanitary. What do you know? Third brother replied with a lewd grin. Many movies play like this. After absorbing more yang energy, Xiaoping grew stronger and quickly mesmerized them, driving them into a frenzy. Both third brother and fourth brother thought the other was a woman, excitedly embracing each other and employing all their pillow talk techniques. This time, the scene was even more grotesque, so I turned my face away. As the two men's essence was released, Xiaoping whistled and announced, "Time for dinner." In the corner of the room, layers upon layers of dark shadows appeared. And dozens of ghost women gradually materialized. Taking advantage of fourth brother's amulet being neutralized, they quickly began to absorb his essence. I glanced at them and was instantly frozen in place. They were only wandering ghosts, unable to reincarnate after death, so they roamed aimlessly. Just how many women had this village harmed? Xiaoping explained that this village prioritized sons over daughters, and many newborn girls were drowned. When the sons grew up and couldn't find wives, they had to buy them from other places, and many women suffered the same fate as her. Most of these ghost women had very weak, ghostly energy. After absorbing enough essence, their faces turned pale white again, and their spirits became vibrant. I asked them to find a hiding place. Once I perform the wedding ceremony with Lily's brother, and everything is settled, I will take you to the Earth God Temple to report your grievances, so you can reincarnate. Hearing this, a few ghost women quickly held me back. No. If you do that, you'll kill us. That yin-yang master is very powerful. You can't defeat him. If he gets angry, he'll strike us with a single blow until our souls are scattered, and we won't even be able to be wandering ghosts anymore. Seeing this, Xiaoping immediately became enraged. I've been a wandering ghost for long enough. Now, I finally have a chance. Even if I die, I'll drag those men in the village down to be buried with me. Ling Ling, leading the opposing faction of ghosts, spoke up. If you want to risk your life, go alone. Don't drag us along as your human shields. I asked Ling Ling, What's the background of the yin-yang master in this village? Ling Ling quickly replied, He's Lily's Uncle Five, often called Master Li. His magic is formidable, extremely powerful. We cannot offend him. The other ghost women also trembled in agreement. Exactly, exactly. Anyone who dares to resist will have their soul scattered. You should leave quickly. Don't implicate us. I wanted to reassure them. Although he is a yin-yang master, I am an Underworld Emissary, officially recognized by the Underworld. I am not afraid of his folk black magic. The ghost women were still skeptical, so I asked Xiaoping to lead them away first and await news from me. After seeing off the ghost women, I intended to contact Officer Shui, but discovered my phone had been confiscated. So, I had to rely on the communication talisman to connect directly with Officer Shui. After I explained the situation, Officer Shui was also a little surprised. He urged me to be more careful and said he would arrange for support as soon as possible. Then he excitedly added, The opportunity for our department to hit our year-end KPIs has arrived. Early the next morning, Lily and Mrs. Lee cheerfully entered the room to check and immediately screamed like pigs being slaughtered. I was pretending to sleep when Lily came over to shake me awake. She grabbed me and asked, What happened? I sat up, rubbed my eyes, and then I too was startled. Fourth brother, wearing black stockings, provocatively lay asleep in third brother's arms. Both were completely naked and clinging tightly to each other. I let out a wicked scream, covering my face and cowering on the bed, mainly because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to stop myself from laughing aloud. Lily angrily dragged me out. I need you to leave a seat. Why did you make them? Gay. I feigned panic and shook my head desperately. Maybe I was too stressed last night and drank too much. Then fell asleep. Who knew it would turn out like this? I wiped away fake tears as I spoke. Lily, am I really that unattractive? Lily angrily stomped her foot and went to check on third brother and fourth brother, discovering them drenched in cold sweat, their lips pale, eyes dark and vacant, completely unconscious. Lily quickly called two other brothers from the village and asked them to take third brother and fourth brother to see a doctor. As they carried them out, they realized the two were stuck together, unable to be separated. The mother of third brother and fourth brother also arrived, and at the sight before her, her legs gave way, and she sank to the ground, weeping and demanding compensation from Mrs. Lee. Mrs. Lee, also panicked, slapped her thigh and shrieked, I asked them to come and leave a seed, not to cross swords with each other. Lily, standing by, tried to comfort her. Auntie, family scandals shouldn't be spread. Saving lives is more important. Lily removed two doors to use as stretchers, while instructing everyone to separate third brother and fourth brother first, emphasizing to do it very slowly. I quickly stepped forward to help, putting my arms around third brother's waist and pulling with all my strength. Up! They separated like two pieces of lotus root. Both areas that had been joined immediately started gushing blood. One looked like a shower head, the other like a faucet. Third brother woke up from the pain, looked down, let out a scream, and fainted again. Everyone quickly grabbed cloths to stop the bleeding. Lily angrily stomped on my foot, saying, Why do you use so much force? I replied seriously, Well, look, they're separated, aren't they? Lily's aunt collapsed to the ground, crying, "Oh no, our family's bloodline can't be cut off like this." Everyone quickly placed third brother, fourth brother, and their mother on the makeshift door stretchers and carried them off for emergency treatment. After they left, Lily stared at me with suspicion. She checked the entire room, but found nothing amiss. Yet she couldn't understand what had happened. Finally, with a frown, she turned back to me and said, "The most important thing today is the wedding ceremony. I won't argue with you about this morning's events anymore. But remember this, if you don't leave a seed for our family, don't even think about leaving." I feigned worry and asked her, "What if the problem is with my health?" Lily sneered. "You'd better pray you're not sick. Otherwise, you'll be crying and begging me to find men for you." After breakfast, Lily took me to get dressed and made up, putting me in a traditional Chinese bridal outfit. Then, she led me to visit her family's ancestral graves. After we finished bowing, she instructed me to sit on a grave and wait. It was freezing cold, so I huddled up and asked, "When does it start?" Lily shot me an annoyed look. Are you more impatient than I am now? Don't worry. When the auspicious hour arrives, the bridal procession will be here." Only then did I realize that the ghost marriage procession began in the cemetery. I could only wait, my stomach rumbling. As dusk settled, I was on the verge of freezing. A layer of white mist appeared around me, with rows upon rows of graves behind, creating an incredibly eerie atmosphere. Suddenly, the mournful sound of Suona horns echoed in the cold wind. A soul-guiding banner fluttered in the mist. Typically, a soul-guiding banner would bear the words "Path to the Western Heaven," but this one read "Western Paradise of Ultimate Bliss." Red paper money flew everywhere, fluttering amidst the red snow as the bridal procession emerged from the mist. All the drummers were odd-numbered. Everyone wore black clothes, heads bowed, and some held paper villas, sports cars, airplanes, and yachts in their hands. Lily grabbed my arm and shook it, so excited she was nearly in tears. "Look how good my family is to you. Who else gives wedding gifts? Like airplanes, yachts, and villas?" I told myself that all these paper items combined wouldn't even buy a bicycle. But I still smiled and replied, "You're right. When you get married, I'll make you an exact combo like this too." Lily glanced at me. "On such a joyous day, why are you saying such ominous things?" Then she excitedly waved at the bridal procession. "Brother, you're here." A gust of yin energy hit my face. Only then did I notice a white horse in the bridal procession. On its back was a black and white portrait, smiling at me, and in front of it an incense burner. 8 bearers carried the sedan chair, stopping before me. The sedan chair was black, adorned with a pair of mandarin ducks and wild geese cut from gold leaf, an indescribably eerie sight. The ghost matchmaker, with bright red dots painted on her snow-white cheeks, approached with a smile. She draped a red headscarf over me and invited me into the sedan chair, preparing to proceed with the wedding ceremony. Inside the sedan chair, I secretly ate a communication talisman and reported my situation to Officer Shui. Officer Shui urged me to prioritize my safety not to act rashly, and to wait until the yin-yang master appeared before taking action. After a bumpy ride, I arrived at the entrance of the Lee family home. In front of the door was a large fire basin, with flames leaping over a meter high. I gently lifted my headscarf, took a look around, and asked, "Why is there a fire basin here?" Lily answered disdainfully, "You don't even know this. It's to cleanse away the bad luck on you, so you don't bring anything inauspicious into my home." Then she grabbed my wrist and pulled me forward. "Hurry up, don't miss the auspicious hour." Reaching the fire basin, she even poured a cup of oil into it. The flames flared up, reaching 2 meters high, looking terrified. Lily smiled and shouted loudly, "Come on, let's make this good event even more lively." I scoffed, then lifted my foot and jumped over. As I landed, I feigned losing my balance, kicking the edge of the fire basin with my heel. A split second later, the fire basin flew up and landed squarely on Lily's head. If it had just been charcoal, it would have been bad enough. But now it contained oil. Whoosh! The flames spread to Lily's hair and clothes. "Annie, it get all down." Lily shrieked and jumped around, yelping. Several village women ran to help. But some took off their clothes, others poured cold water. The men in the bridal procession watched, chuckling. I couldn't help but laugh out loud and yell at her, "Lily, I'm getting married today. You're singing, dancing, and even smoking like a roasted chicken. What kind of opera are you performing?" The flames on Lily had been extinguished, but the fire of rage in her heart burned brightly. She grabbed a nearby wine bottle, intending to strike me, but several aunts quickly restrained her. I gestured for her to calm down. "Today is your brother's happy day. Don't let your family lose face." Mrs. Lee also glared at Lily. "Quickly bring your sister-in-law into the house for the ceremony." Lily's face was dark. She mumbled curses, changed clothes, put on a wig, and continued to act as my bridesmaid. She helped me walk forward with a smile on her lips, but her mouth spat venom. "All right. Normally I thought you were quite honest, but I never expected you to be so cunning. I advise you to clearly understand the current situation. Don't rejoice too soon. I couldn't be bothered with her. Dealing with Lily was just a convenient side task. The most important thing was to confront Master Lee. But for some reason, he still hadn't appeared. Lily escorted me inside. The front and inner courtyards were filled with banquets, tables, and chairs. Villagers drank wine and chatted boisterously, looking no different from a normal wedding. But upon entering the backyard, the atmosphere immediately changed. The main hall was empty, devoid of light, although many red lanterns were hung. There was no festive atmosphere at all. The light emitted from the lanterns was cold, making the place look incredibly gloomy. On the table in the main hall sat a pair of red dragon and phoenix candles. Mr. Lee and Mrs. Lee sat on either side, the flickering red light dancing on their pale faces, making them look like both humans and ghosts. The ghost matchmaker by their side loudly announced, "Marry the new bride into the home, welcoming good fortune and joy. Bring the new bride into the home, bringing gold, silver, and wealth." After entering the hall, through the red headscarf, I saw 3 rows of chairs in front of the hall, but no one was sitting on them. All were ancestral tablets of the deceased, presumably the Lee family's ancestors. I stood in the main hall, and the ghost matchmaker again loudly proclaimed, "The auspicious hour has arrived. Invite the groom." My heart pounded. Although I was an underworld emissary, specializing in fetching the souls of the dead, this was my first time performing a wedding ceremony with a deceased person. Nearby, heavy footsteps echoed, and the combined scent of incense ashes and decay assaulted my nostrils. 2 groomsmen carried the groom forward. He wore a Republic-era formal robe, a mask woven with gold thread and coins, completely covering his face. The ghost matchmaker declared loudly to the groom, "Because you died young, without fulfilling your grand destiny, alone in the 9 springs, too lonely in death. I have a daughter like a nightbone, now with wedding gifts to the underworld. The auspicious hour is chosen, rituals complete, inviting gods to witness. Enjoy the wine and feast." After the ghost matchmaker finished speaking, she turned towards me and the groom, announcing again, "Groom Ligi, bride Quinn, the auspicious hour has arrived. Begin the ceremony. First bow to heaven and earth. Second bow to the ancestors. Husband and wife bow to each other." After we bowed to each other, Ligi slowly stood upright with the help of the 2 groomsmen. I thought I just heard him laugh. That laugh was neither human nor ghost, instantly sending shivers down my spine. While I was still in a daze, the ghost matchmaker scattered a handful of red paper money into the bridal chamber. The lights in the bridal room were dim and flickering, with only 2 red candles lit. The groomsmen carried the groom and laid him on the bed. "Lily, happily watched, brother. You're finally married." Then she looked at me. "Just now, the county called to report that 4th brother is dead, and 3rd brother is undergoing surgery for removal. We can't find anyone else in the clan to borrow seed from." I sighed. "Perhaps that's fate." Lily sneered. "Exactly." Lily sneered. "Heaven wants you to only carry my brother's child." Then, through my headscarf, she patted my face. "Tonight, you must conceive," Lily told the ghost matchmaker. "Start now." I looked at the matchmaker's gloomy face, suddenly feeling a bit panicked. Didn't we just perform the ceremony? What's starting now? The matchmaker smiled thinly, answering me. "After the bowing ceremony, the next step is the marital act." 2 groomsmen forced me down onto the bed. They lit an incense stick, as thick as a chopstick, and placed it directly between my legs, instructing me to clench tightly. Then they placed another incense stick between Ligi's legs. The matchmaker continued, "Only when the yin-yang harmony incense stick is lit can the great event truly begin. If you dare to extinguish the tip of the incense stick, I will break your legs." I quickly feigned compliance. "Yes, yes, yes. I won't move recklessly." "But with you all standing so close, how can we consummate our marriage?" the ghost matchmaker chuckled. "Don't worry. As long as you obediently listen to me, I won't bother you two." She smiled and gestured for the 2 groomsmen to follow her out of the room. The room suddenly fell silent, with only the lingering incense smoke between the groom's legs and mine. 2 wisps of white smoke gradually intertwined. I thought to myself, this yin-yang master is quite something. The incense he made isn't some mere toy. It can truly connect yin and yang. But after a long wait, the groom's wandering soul didn't appear. While I was still wondering, rustle, something in the room stirred. After listening carefully for a moment, I realized something was moving right beside me. The groom's corpse had begun to twitch. I didn't know when. Although I had seen my fair share of wandering souls and corpses, this was my first time encountering something like this. The groom sat up, his body moving accordingly, and a putrid smell wafted from his stomach, instantly making one nauseous. He let out a strange, ear-splitting sound, and the coin mask fell onto the bed. Only then did I see a talisman pasted on his face, covered in strange sigil. I suddenly remembered the corpse control art that Officer Shui had told me about, a powerful black magic even stronger than corpse driving. I never expected to encounter it today. To make matters worse, this corpse had started removing its clothes. Don't let his bloodless upper body fool you. He looked like a mere skeleton, but his lower body had already erected a club. He's already dead. And he still can't rest in peace. It was then that I suddenly remembered. Before entering the bridal chamber, Lily had demanded that I conceive her brother's child. I thought it was just angry talk, but I never expected they actually intended something like this. It was always the living loving the dead. When did it become the dead loving the living in return? But in the blink of an eye, the groom had slowly crawled onto me. I was about to struggle, but I felt my entire body weaken, losing so much strength that I couldn't move. Seeing the tip of the incense stick clamped between my legs, I immediately reacted. This incense stick, besides being used for communication between yin and yang in a ghost marriage, could also induce paralysis. No wonder the ghost matchmaker wasn't worried about my resistance. My limbs grew stiffer and stiffer. I helplessly watched the groom tear off my clothes. Panicked, I quickly screamed at the groom, "Husband!" My groom, seeing that it worked, I pursed my lips. The groom let out a few evil laughs, then also pursed his lips to kiss me. The stench from his mouth made me want to vomit. When he got close enough, I used all my strength and blew into his face. The corpse-controlling talisman on the groom's face immediately tore. Although it wasn't completely blown away, only a corner remained, revealing most of his face. The groom's expression suddenly became blank, and his movement slowed considerably like a sloth. I used all my strength to roll over, extinguishing the incense stick between my legs, then tumbled off the bed, opened the window, and gasped for air. I had originally intended to handle this myself, but at this point, I had no choice but to ask the local Underworld emissaries for help. I drew a summoning talisman on my palm and chanted an incantation to summon the local Underworld emissaries. My palm immediately pounded rapidly. I had contacted them, but I was even more frightened. The intensity of the pounding in my palm indicated that the local Underworld emissary was very close, no more than 3 meters away. In other words, an Underworld emissary was in the room. But besides me and the groom, there was no one else in the room. I looked around, and suddenly 2 cold lights flashed from under the bed. An iron chain flew out from beneath and wrapped around my neck. This was the soul-hooking iron chain of the Underworld emissary, capable of directly pulling a living soul from its body, invisible to ordinary mortals. The iron chain was red, a much higher rank than mine. An old man emerged from below, looking at me with a strange smile. Needless to say, I recognized him. He was the local yin-yang master, Master Li. From the very beginning, he had been hiding under the bed, manipulating the groom's body. I looked at him in disbelief. You're an underworld emissary. Master Li scoffed. I warned you earlier not to worry about such matters, yet you walked right into a trap, seeking death. Behind Master Li, shadowy figures flickered. I saw some familiar faces, including Ling Ling, and beside her, Xiaoping, who was tightly bound by a soul-hooking chain. Master Li yanked hard, and my living soul was pulled from my body. My physical body slumped to the ground. Looking at my own body, I realized this was bad. I was afraid I would end up like these female ghosts. I wanted to struggle, but Master Li's iron chain was of too high a rank. I couldn't escape at all. I loudly challenged him. You're also an underworld emissary. Why are you doing something like this? Master Li took a drag from a cigarette, then reattached the corpse-controlling talisman to the group. Master Li, I've cultivated the Tao my entire life, traversing between the yin and yang realms, using all my feng shui skills. Yet my family has suffered poverty for generations. All my descendants have been cursed with short lives. Why such misfortune? I sneered. Isn't it because you only seek to exploit loopholes and commit many immoral deeds? Master Li nodded. But cultivating the Tao means knowing how to steal secrets from heaven. What have I done wrong? I was unwilling to accept my fate. So I sought out you, a female underworld emissary, to change the feng shui of my family's ancestral graves. I was shocked. You people have known I was an underworld emissary all along, and you've always been trying to trap me. Master Li chuckled. Exactly. Someone with an extreme yin birth chart like you is a rare resource for changing fate, only to be stumbled upon, not sought after. Master Li formed the soul-refining hand seal and aimed it at me. I want to use your soul to become a grave-guarding ghost to boost the feng shui of my family's ancestral graves. Extreme yin giving birth to yang, defying heaven to change destiny. Master Li muttered incantations. It was then that I realized a spell barrier had been drawn on the ground. These sigils flickered with blue light, swallowing my soul within them. Master Li pushed his hand forward, and the colossal soul-refining seal bore down on me. Once struck, my soul will be sent to his family's graves. I shook my head violently. A morning staff shot out from my left ear. Master Li's soul-hooking iron chain immediately dissipated the moment my morning staff appeared. While he hesitated, I grabbed the morning staff and used it to strike back. Crack! His soul-refining seal was shattered by me. He slumped to the ground, looking at the morning staff in my hand in disbelief. Impossible! How can you possess an underworld artifact? My soul, holding the morning staff, returned to my body. After I stood up, my entire body trembled. The power of this morning staff was truly extraordinary. Before I set off, our department head was worried something might happen to me, so he lent me this for self-defense. You, as an underworld emissary, know the law, yet you break the law, violating The underworld rules. Please, come with me. Master Li put away his iron chain, raised his hand to stand up, and laughed from the side, tear her body apart. The groom immediately lunged at me like a demon. I swept with the staff. The groom touched the morning staff and was instantly thrown back as if electrocuted. Taking advantage of this, Master Li slipped out of the room. I quickly chased after him. Seeing Lily running towards me from the opposite direction, holding a pig slaughtering knife, followed by several of the Li family's descendants, I yelled at her, "Get out of the way! I'm only here to catch Master Li." Lily pointed the pig slaughtering knife at me. Underworld Emissary, huh? You know the underworld laws, do you? I'm just asking if you're afraid of a pig slaughtering knife. Then she laughed maniacally, lunging at me with the knife. I've disliked you for a long time. I was truly speechless, but it wasn't convenient to use the morning staff to deal with her. So I put it away. Then I kicked her wrists. Lily's knife flew away, and at the same time I kicked her directly. She fell face down on the ground. I was truly speechless, thinking, "Is she stupid?" Besides, knowing magic, I was also the university's Sanda champion at the sports club. Did she forget that? With a few swift moves, I took down the Li family's descendants and grabbed Lily by her clothes, lifting her up. "Lily, I kindly helped you, and this is how you treat me. Tricking me into a ghost marriage is one thing, but I suspect your family is involved in kidnapping and trafficking women. The law won't spare you then." Only then did Lily become scared. She fell to her knees, clinging to my legs, and began to beg. "No, no, no. My life will be over if that happens." I kicked her away. "Did you ever think of this when you were ruining other people's lives?" Lily knelt again. I know I was wrong. "For the sake of our shared dorm, please spare me." As she spoke, she clung tightly to my leg, refusing to let go. I felt something was wrong. Just as I was about to kick her away, I suddenly felt a foul smell waft from above my head. Splash! I was drenched, and smelling the stench, I immediately recognized it. Dog blood mixed with feces. I spat a few times, kneed Lily in the face, and immediately kicked her away from me, but my heart was in turmoil. In this state, using magic would definitely be much less effective. Master Li was standing on the roof, having thrown the bucket of feces. He grabbed a peachwood sword and peachwood nails, aiming them at me. I was about to speak when my body suddenly stiffened. The groom, whom I had pushed away earlier, lunged back and hugged me tightly, his hands as stiff as iron, muttering repeatedly, "Consummate the marriage! Consummate the marriage!" While I struggled, Master Li ignited a talisman on his peachwood sword, bit his tongue, spat a mouthful of blood onto the sword, and straining with all his might, yelled, "Quinn! Quinn, go to my family's grave to guard it and change its fate. 10,000 paths revolve. Ghosts and gods preside. God crash!" The peachwood sword lunged powerfully towards me. The talisman, carrying the black magic master Li had cultivated his entire life. I had seen many people fly with swords, but this was my first time encountering someone with such overwhelming aura as Master Li. At this moment, I was covered in blood and feces. My magic greatly weakened. I quickly turned and pushed the groom away, rolling on the ground. The peachwood sword chased me into every corner. After rolling back and forth, I grabbed Lily, holding her in front of me as a shield. Thud, thud. Oh! The peachwood sword pierced Lily's chest. Although this peachwood sword had no physical damage, its magical damage was maximized. Lily, though unconscious, her soul cried out in agony. In just a moment, dozens of souls flew in. These were the Lee family ancestors who had come to attend the ghost marriage. They smelled the blood and flew out from their ancestral tablets, grabbing Lily's soul and tearing at it. They treated Lily as the grave-guarding ghost that Master Lee had trained, pulling her vigorously towards the ancestral graves. Lily screamed loudly, but it was useless. She vanished in an instant. For generations to come, she would have to serve those perverted old ghosts in there. Master Lee slumped onto the roof. That last strike had drained all his life force, but in the end, he had failed. He gave me a tragic smile. I give up. Do whatever you want with me. But no sooner had he finished speaking than he was surrounded by ghosts. The female ghosts he had imprisoned in the village over the years, unable to escape, now swarmed him. He had cultivated black magic his whole life, but in the end, he couldn't escape the cycle of karma. I had no time to listen to his pleas. I ran away on all fours because I was covered in blood and feces and needed a bath immediately. The matter was resolved satisfactorily. My ghost marriage ring automatically fell off. The wandering ghosts in the village were also able to reincarnate. The local authorities appointed new Underworld Emissaries and tightened control. Not long after, the police arrived at the village and arrested several human traffickers who kidnapped women. Because I helped the department exceed its KPI targets, I officially became a female Underworld Emissary. However, I still became the laughingstock of the Underworld New Year's Eve party's stand-up comedy segment. They called me the most bloody Underworld Emissary in the world. I don't know if it was due to this incident, but for a very long time afterward, I couldn't find a boyfriend.